everybody, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to write copy that converts prospects into coaching clients. By the way, subscribe to my channel if you love videos on how to grow a successful coaching business. We release new videos every single week. Hey everyone, my name is Armin Shaffi and I built a multi-six-figure life coaching business, and now I spend my days helping other coaches build their business as well. Now, if you're watching this and you've ever had struggles or got stuck with writing copy in your coaching business, then this video is for you. Now, what is copywriting? Simply put, you're writing copy, you're writing words that take a reader to want to do something you're telling them to do. So copy you see is in ads, the description and the ads that you see, that's called copywriting. If you see a post on social media, that's called copywriting. If you see a sales funnel with a letter, they call it a sales letter, and you see all the wording is pretty much a script that's talking to you, that's called copywriting. So most coaches are not master marketers. They're just able to help people. If you're watching this and you can help people, but you get stuck with the marketing side of things like copywriting, then this video is going to show you pretty much how to do copywriting that converts your readers into prospects and prospects that want to work with you as a coaching client and pay you to work with you. So copywriting, simply put, is simple. Okay, I'm going to explain one thing to you that makes you realize what copywriting is. Copywriting is simply storytelling. Okay? Copywriting is just storytelling. Now, when you understand that one simple fact, this becomes a lot easier. Most people sit there and they try to write a bunch of things like on a funnel or a social media post or an ad, and they're hoping that they're doing the right copy. Am I following the right things? Am I saying what I want to say? Or, I remember I hired Facebook ad experts and they were writing copy that wasn't even that good. And I was reading it like, what's wrong here? Something's missing. It's not working. It's not converting my audience into paying clients. And I realized it's because I wasn't honing in on the major core of a copywriting, what makes copywriting effective and powerful, which is storytelling. So when you realize copywriting is just storytelling, then all you got to learn how to do is storytell better in word form. When you write, you storytell better. Now, there is a proven storytelling framework that I'm going to share with you that I didn't invent. I learned and I practiced and I mastered it so that it gets really good. And the proven storytelling framework is simple. It's called, so let's go over the proven storytelling framework. Okay? So I'm going to go over the proven storytelling framework because all you need to understand is that copywriting is just storytelling. Okay? So there is 3 steps to the proven storytelling framework that has worked for countless people around the world sell their work, whether creating sales letters, whether creating ad copy, copywriting for anything. Email copy is also, what am I saying? Emails are copywriting, especially emails, okay? There is 3 simple steps. So the simple step is 3 steps, okay? The proven storytelling framework that's worked by tons of marketers and has worked from time and time again for decades now is something called hook, story, and offer. Okay? Hook, story, offer. Now, I'm going to go through each one of these 3 things with you so you can fully understand it and know how to use it in your emails, your ads, your social media posts, whatever it is, even in any type of content you write. Any type of content you write, this should follow this process. This proven storytelling framework will help you convert anyone that reads or hears what you have to say into a paying client because it hooks them in properly. Now, let's go over the first one, which is hook. Now, the hook is simple. Pretty much all you're doing is you want to give a relevant pattern interrupt. Now, what I mean by that is a pattern interrupt. Most of us have come across this idea, this term before. Now, if you don't know what it is, whenever you see an ad or an email or a marketing piece or content, the first line at the top is what we call a pattern interrupt. Now, most people will just do anything to get your attention. Like, I remember I wrote an email once that did really well in open rates because I said, shut up in the email. And that's pattern interrupt because you see that in your inbox, you go, who is this? And you open it up and I'm like, shut up. Did you know that this has something to do with this in your business? And so it was a fun little way to get, to interrupt them, to pattern interrupt, but it wasn't really relevant, which is what I'm going to talk about right now to make sure you do proper copywriting with this, because I didn't get a lot of click rates in that email, okay? But I got a lot of open rates. Now, a relevant pattern interrupt, the difference is you make sure that it is interrupting their attention so that they can, you hook their attention, but it's with something that they actually want to learn. So let's say you're doing relationship coaching and, for example, you want to sell a program on helping people date, properly or, find someone, date successfully. Well, a stupid pattern interrupt that would just be pattern interrupt is they just found out something, like it could just be anything like, stop and read this now. That's a pattern interrupt. But is that going to get every person that you ideally want to read this reading it? No. It's going to get anyone and everyone, which is not what you want. Relevant pattern interrupt will filter people out and only let people that are interested in what you have to say read your copy. So in an ad, in an email, in a social media post, or wherever it is. Now, relevant pattern interrupt, a good example would be if you're doing a relationship, you could say, you're missing out on love in your life if you don't know this one thing. That's a great relevant pattern interrupt. You're going to get people who want love because clearly someone who's in love wouldn't read that and care. But someone who's not in love, wants to have love, will say, well, what's that one thing? And so what you're really doing is relevantly hooking their attention so that they read. For example, in my business, I'll use one of my emails as an example. A good relevant pattern interrupt is COVID happened, right? So I have a pattern interrupt that says, COVID changed my business forever. Now, or saved my business. COVID saved my business. Now, people know COVID's a terrible thing. I know it's a terrible thing. But that's a great pattern interrupt, right? Is it that relevant? It's about business. And I sent it to coaches. So it is kind of relevant. If I said COVID saved my coaching business, that is more relevant. Why? Because COVID is a pattern interrupt. Everyone knows what that is. And coaching business is the relevancy. If you have a coaching business, you're going to read this, right? If you are not a coach or interested in coaching businesses, you're not going to read this email. So that got a great open rate and a good click rate because I relevantly hooked their attention. So make sure your pattern interrupt in the hook is relevant. Okay, don't just do anything to get their attention. If I stand on the side of a street and just start yelling, going, look at me, look at me, look at me, everyone's going to look at me. But that doesn't mean any one of them are qualified to hear what I have to say. But if I have a sign up that says, wanting to start your own business, you need to know these three things, then only people who are starting a business will come and want to know what those three things are. So a good way to hook, by the way, a good way to do a pattern interrupt is to give mystery. The more curiosity you have in the hook, the more it hooks people in. So you don't want to just give something away. One of my best performing ads, that the relevant pattern interrupt said, if you're a coach who wants coaching clients regardless of the current situation, which I was referring to COVID, then read this. Now, that's a great pattern interrupt because it's relevant to who I'm speaking to, and it is something that's relevant right now. What's happening? Another one of my best performing ads is one with my dad. My dad years ago passed away from cancer. So during that time, my business helped me a lot with the bills and helping out with money. And luckily, I saw the value of my business. So my pattern interrupt on that says, I truly realized the value of my coaching business when I realized my dad has cancer, ... Now, that's a great relevant pattern interrupt because, one, we're talking about the value of a coaching business. We're talking about a coaching business, and I'm hooking people into a curiosity hook, like a story hook. It's like, whoa, what happened with your dad having cancer? And then the next line right away is going into the story of what happened, which is what we're going to get into right now. So pretty much that's simply how it is. I just want to make sure you understand. You want to have a relevant pattern interrupt, something that hooks them. A question is great for hooking attention, but make sure it's a question that's relevant. For example, get stuck every time you close a client on the phone or every time you're on the phone with a prospect. Do this one thing to fix it. That's a good pattern interrupt. Or want to land 2 times the clients in half the time. You need to know this. Or this one thing changed how I looked at money forever. Or I'm just giving you random examples here right now. In your business, you got to hook their attention, whether with a statement that's very bizarre and different, that is relevant to what you're trying to offer them. But it's also like, what is that? You got to leave them going, what is that? And they want to read on to learn. Or it has to be a question that you know is hitting their pain point and they're wondering the answer to. So, for example, if I did one for, let's say I made an ad off copywriting, be like, get stuck every time you do copy. Learn this proven story framework or this proven framework for coaches. Right? Does that make sense? It's just a hook. Like even the title of this video, for you to click on it and want to be here, that I hooked you. The first thing I did is make a relevant pattern interrupt. Write copy that converts, that gets clients for coaches, right? So you're going, oh, okay, that's I want to learn about this. So when headlines of emails are this, in the first line in an email, the first line of an ad is copywriting the hook of this. And in social media, it's the first thing that they read. It could even be the actual, if it's an image, if you're posting an image somewhere and it's a question or something, it could be in the image. You know, videos you see with the borders, that the border is a hook, okay? So I have hooks that say the worst marketing method ever invented for coaches. That's one of my hooks of my ads that are doing really well. That's a hook. Why? Because it's about coaches, it's about marketing, and it leaves you thinking, what is he talking about? So it's a hook. Now, once you've got them hooked and they're in, the second part you need to do is tell a story. Now, literally just understanding that copywriting is storytelling will make this so much easier for you. Not everyone knows how to be a salesperson, a marketer, and learn how to say a bunch of cool, fancy numbers and stuff. Like, I sucked at marketing when I started. But I was a great storyteller. And if you're a good coach, that means you're a good storyteller too, because you probably use stories and parables and metaphors to explain things to your clients. So storytelling, just understanding how to storytell effectively is going to make you a great copywriter and great writer and great sales and marketing person. So there's a proven framework for storytelling. I'm gonna map it out for you right now so you understand what the flow of a story looks like. So the first thing in a story, is you want to start with the situation. Okay? So you want to start with the situation in every story. Then you go into the goal so that they know what you were working towards. Then you want to share the plan. After the plan, you face the problem. Then you find the solution. Okay? Solution. And then you get the results. Okay? So this is a proven story framework right here. Simple. So every great story follows this similar path and the tale and the actual plot of what you're saying. There's a situation that it starts at, the setting, the goal that the character in the story or whatever your point is, the goal of where you started from. There's a plan you had that you executed, but it didn't work because you hit a problem. Then you solve the problem with the solution, which is what you're promoting, and then you got this result. So I'll give you an example. For me, my best performing ad, I'll just share you the copy for it. My situation was, I had a coaching business based off live events, which is the ad I was telling you about. It says, if you're a coach that wants coaching clients regardless of the current situation, read this. So the story I told about is how COVID came in and ceased all live events. My entire business was built off live events and selling from stage. So I told them I started out with about to run my next live event, and then the news came out that I can't. Then I had a goal. Well, I had to figure out how to get more coaching clients, even though I can't do live events. I had a plan. I tried to go out there and start doing like Facebook Lives and whatever and try to learn the online game, but I hit a problem. I was doing a bunch of social media marketing and whatever, and it just didn't work out. And I'm like, man, what's wrong here? And I realized that I don't need to go out and start doing a bunch of different methods that I have never done before, like social media and trying to get like people to work with me from just random content, when I could just take the solution I figured out was when I could just take my live events model and do it online. What does that mean? Well, instead of filling a physical room, I host an online event. And instead of doing a sale from stage, I can do it on an online presentation. And instead of trying to close sales with people in a room, I could just close sales on a call. Does that make sense? So I replicated my live events model to online, and I went out and I did my best to figure it out, and I figured out how to grow an online audience, take my presentation I used on stages that worked for me in different countries and 6 figures in weekends, and do it online, and then pretty much offer and close clients instead of in the back of the room on a phone call instead. So the results were my business has been growing faster and more profitably than ever before, and that's why COVID was a good thing that happened to my business, not to the world. And what helped me realize is an online model is better than a live events model if I want to scale. So why am I saying this to you? Because the story here is explaining to you, I don't have to tell you what to do. I don't have to tell you anything. I just got to tell you the story, and from the story you come up with the conclusion yourself that you need to do this right here, okay? So the point of the story is that the solution is your offer. Does that make sense? So a great copywriter understands how to hook your attention and tell you a story that gets you to come to the conclusion that you need to do the thing that the story told you helped them person. So another way of putting it, by the way, is for the ad with my dad, where I was in a situation, I was growing my business, and then I had this goal of making X amount of dollars in my business, and I was executing my plan, but then my dad got cancer. That was a problem. The solution was I had to build a marketing system that allowed me to step away from my coaching business so I didn't have to prospect and sell and do marketing on my own, so that I can have time to spend with my dad. So I built a marketing system where I send leads to a presentation and it sells for me so that I got the time to spend, the results were to spend time with my dad before he dies. And that also is doing really well. Why? Because in the story, I don't need to tell you in my copy, you need to build a marketing system. What I'm saying in the story is I had this problem and building a marketing system fixed my problem. So you as the reader, and when your audience is reading your copy, they're thinking to themselves, I need a marketing system if I want the same results as him, which is time freedom to spend time with his family. So if someone I know has no time spent left with his family because they're working too hard, well, this story is going to make them realize they need to have a marketing system in their coaching business. And if your copy, the story in your copy is convincing enough and it's inspiring enough to make them believe in the solution, which is your offer, then the next part is that you offer them the call to action of how to implement the solution. Pretty simple. It's a call to action on how to implement the solution. I spelled that so wrong. Solution. There you go. Okay. The solution. There. Okay? So the offer is simple. It's just a call to action on how to implement the solution. So see how simple this is? The whole storytelling framework that works in copy. I use this on emails. I use this on ads. I use this in my presentations. I use this everywhere. I mean, even when I talk to people, I'm using this. You don't even know, but in this video, I'm using this framework right now. We hook you in, so we give you something you're relevantly looking forward to learning. I'm giving you a story here instead of a story. I'm giving you an actual step-by-step process. But I'm telling stories along the way, which is almost the same thing. And then obviously at the end of this video, I'm going to offer you to get help on implementing this solution. Not everyone just knows how to do it off your copy. So if you want to become a great copywriter for your coaching business and write copy that converts prospects into clients and readers into clients, then you got to follow this framework. Hook, story, offer. Hook, give them a relevant pattern interrupt so that they know that this is for them, whatever they're about to read and or about to get into, and it gives them enough curiosity to wonder why or how it is what you're saying. So the statement or the question is going to hook them in to learn more. And then the story you follow simple is you start in a situation, so you were at a current situation, you had a goal, you had a plan that you executed, you faced a problem or challenge, then you solve that challenge by discovering some solution, and the solution is what gave you the results you have now, which is what your reader wants. And then you offer them a call to action to learn how to implement that solution in their life, in their business, and whatever it is. An example, again, one last example is I had, let's say, a situation. I was overweight. Then my goal was to have a beach body within 6 months, so I'm ready for the summer. Well, my plan was to go and diet and work out every single day, but it was really hard because I faced a problem where I had no motivation and I kept quitting over and over, so I couldn't keep myself disciplined. Then I figured out a solution. I came by an ad, or I saw a friend of mine who did this thing, who tried getting a personal trainer, and a personal trainer, showed him, kept him accountable, or he discovered intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting doesn't require you to work out so hard, and it's not as hard of a sacrifice. You just gotta fast throughout the day, and you lose weight very quickly. So, example, that's the solution: intermittent fasting or a personal trainer. And then now I have lost this much weight in this much time, and I have the beach body I'm looking for, or something close to that. So, by the way, if you're interested in learning intermittent fasting or getting a personal trainer or whatever, then book a call or work with me or click here to buy, and you literally just send them to become a client or pay. Does this make sense, guys? It's pretty simple. A hook, story, offer. Become a great storyteller, and you'll become a great copywriter. And this is good for beginner coaches, and this is just the standard fundamentals you got to understand before you start writing great copy, and taking it to the next level. Now, if you're watching this right now, obviously I'm going to tell you I'm about to make an offer. If you're watching this right now and you're thinking, I need some help with this, you want some help with writing ad copy, email copy, social media copy, presentation copy, sales copy, any type of copy that you want to learn to master or create copy that works. Like in my program, when I work with coaches, I just give my email copy templates. I give templates with proven copy that's worked for me to my clients, so that they skip all the part of having to become a master at copywriting and just go straight to the getting clients, because I want to take the marketing work off your hands so you can just focus on being a coach and love what you're doing and not get caught up on all the tech and marketing and sales stuff. So if you're looking at this and you want some help with this, and you want somebody to come and show you the ropes step by step, or give you the templates to just write great copy for your business, then what I want you to do is right now click the link provided with this video and book a call with my team. It's absolutely free. There's no obligation to buy anything from us. We're going to get on the call with you and figure out what your problems are right now in your business when it comes to copy and other parts of your business, how we can help you fix those problems. And if you think it's a good fit for us and we think you're a good fit for us too, then if you think it's a good fit for you and we think it's a good fit, you're a good fit for us, then we can show you how that looks. And if you want to work with us, it's up to you. And if you don't, no problem. We'll give you as much as we can on the call to see if we can help you out with where you're at. So go ahead and book a call now. Click the link provided with this video and let's get you helped. Let's get you, writing great copy in your business so that you can start getting clients in your business as well. I hope this video was very helpful and that you learned how to start writing copy in the Hook Story Offer Model, the proven storytelling framework. I hope you go and implement this right now, and I hope we can speak to you on the phone. Go ahead and book a call. We'll talk to you soon. I'll see you in the next video.